sitting with Ben Crouse, a Saru referee, as well as a member of the Olympic Sevens refereeing panel. Ben, how are you today?
Very well, yourself, Benji?
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's an absolute privilege to be sitting with you. Let's start off with, how did you get involved in refereeing rugby in South Africa?
Well, Benji, actually a long story. My dad used to ref himself. When I was still young, we used to go to trainings with him, did the fitness and everything with him. Back then I was still in school, and then eventually I just thought, well, I could just as well join up instead of going with and just playing around. So I joined up with my dad, Eastern Province Rugby Referee Society back in the days, and everything just went from there on. Did all my qualifications, eventually moved up to Pretoria, became a Pretoria Bulls boy, ref from here for 12 years, and then just recently before the Olympics moved down to the Cheetahs.
Ben, let's talk a little bit about becoming a referee in South Africa. What is the process?
I think basically, Benji, you need to sign up at the local union. So at the Bulls, there's all sorts of websites where you can just join on. The SA Rugby Referee website is one of them. We just join up, and then they just take you through all of the courses you need to do to become a referee. It's a whole induction program. So a lot of times the people say, well, I don't know rugby too well. Well, that's exactly why you need to start becoming a ref, because then you're going to learn more about the game, more about the trade, and about refereeing itself.
Let's talk a little bit about, people see obviously referees during a match, but they don't know what goes on behind the scenes. What sort of things have you experienced as a referee that you never thought that you would experience as a referee?
Firstly, game-wise, I don't think people know the hard work we put in. We do about 4 to 6 fitness tests per year, which is a rigorous number of tests, which burns you all the way down. So it's stuff just off the field as well. Then obviously on field you get to do with a lot of abuse, but that's part of the game. I mean, I think I always compare it to how we feel about traffic cops. They're actually doing a good job, but we never like to be pulled off the road. So I reckon refereeing is a lot of times similar to that. I think as other things off the field which I've experienced a bit of brotherhood. I think similar to what rugby players would experience in a team environment, and especially the group that went to Rio. I mean, actually spoke to one of the boys this morning that's currently in South Africa. So that whole team environment and being part of a team was what I've experienced in my refereeing over the last few years.
You just mentioned now that referees do get a lot of abuse, and it always feels like to the average supporter that when a referee makes a mistake, there is no repercussions for that referee, which is obviously not true. What happens when a referee makes a mistake? What is the review process by World Rugby?
Well, basically there's a massive review process. There's never a game that's being refereed, especially provincial upwards, never a game being refereed without people being assessed. Then there's a full assessment. A lot of times it's from 3 pages to 6 pages, where they give points on different aspects of the game. If it's the fluency of the game, scrums, breakdowns, lineouts, offsides. So there's a whole lot of pointers you get. The things people don't really see in the public domain is that a lot of times they complain about the ref. He might have a game next week, but thereafter he might get eased out and basically work out an extra strategy. And a lot of times we don't know a guy being sacked, because obviously we don't want to expose the referees. 99.9% of referees in the world are amateur, so they do this purely for enjoyment and just to be involved in the game and give something back to the game. A lot of times, or lately, some of the professional players came and become referees. So we do get dealt with. If I don't have a good game this weekend, I might get taken off games. We do get dealt with. We do get assessed, and a lot of times it's not comfortable being in the change room afterwards, after assessment.
Ben, let's talk a little bit about your own personal refereeing. You've refereed at virtually all levels of the game, barring tests. What is your favorite?
I must be honest, the sevens I enjoyed in my last couple of years. It's been a good stint on the sevens. I enjoy sevens, the quickness of the game, the mindset of players and the coaches and the spectators. So my sevens is at this stage is the pinnacle. But I actually mentioned to a friend earlier this morning that I didn't start reffing to be only a sevens ref. Obviously, I want to ref a test. I reckon that's probably the pinnacle. But at this stage, sevens is the thing I love and is my passion.
Ben, in terms of in-game, while you are refereeing, what part of the game is your favorite to officiate, and what part of the game do you dread officiating?
Scrum's always been my Achilles heel. I reckon we see game in, game out where scrums is just shambles. The guys putting the laws together is obviously trying to make it easier, but scrums is always difficult. A lot of times I have a lot of control over things like the advantage or the scrum, not the scrums, the offsides. But when you come down to scrum time, I'm not in there. I can't show them to stay up. I only weigh about 72 kg, so I don't have a lot of influence. And the dynamics of scrum is that chances are pretty good that scrums might fall. So scrums is the difficult part. I like playing advantage. I like the quicker games, which I got adapted to in the sevens arena. So I like advantage, play at good advantage, and then my Achilles heel definitely the scrums.
Ben, you had the honour of officiating at the Rio Sevens, the Olympics. Talk us through that experience.
Benji, absolutely amazing, and I think up until now it's been the pinnacle of my refereeing career. The good thing is it's been a journey from the last 3 or 4 years for myself, some of the other guys even longer. So basically it's been a group, it's a brotherhood that progressed all the way. 2 years ago we already started working on what will happen if this happened in Rio, certain scenarios and cases after games, and so we assessed ourselves. The tournament, the way everything was organized was absolutely amazing. I know there was a lot of things in social media and the papers about the games. For me personally was absolutely amazing. Everything was spot on, well organized. So certainly something that will go with me to grave one day. All the memories and all the great experiences I had in Rio.
Ben, as we finish off, if you had a special message for up-and-coming referees or guys that are considering becoming referees, what would you say to them?
Well, Benji, I think we're actually very privileged. We got the best seat in the house. We're right next to the action. A lot of times a skinny bloke like myself couldn't play big rugby. I tried, but obviously couldn't excel, and I thought, well, let's just stay in the game. I've got a huge passion for the game. So I got into refereeing. It's absolutely amazing. It took me around the world a couple of times already, and if that's something that ticks your box, then refereeing is certainly something to get involved. You stay involved in the game, you stay fit and healthy, and you get to meet all the nice big rugby players and become friends with them. So for all the young guys, there's massive opportunities coming their way. It's not even 15s, the sevens game is growing exponentially these days. There's a whole lot of opportunities, especially in our country that's been seen as a rugby country. Get involved, start refereeing, and make sure you enjoy it as well.
Ben, Gamble Magazine would like to take the opportunity to thank you for spending some time with us. We know you're busy running not only a referee but your own financial company. So thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute privilege learning more about what it takes to be a referee in South Africa.
Thanks, Benji.